This is my worship, this is my offering. In every moment, I withhold nothing. I'm learning to trust you, even when I can't see it. And even in suffering, I have to believe it. If you say it's wrong, then I'll say no. If you say release, I'm letting go. If you're in it with me, I'll begin. And when you say to jump, I'm diving in. If you say be still, then I will wait. If you say to trust, I will obey. I don't wanna follow my own ways. I'm done chasing feelings. Spirit, lead me. Oh, Spirit, lead me.
Good morning, my beloveds. Another week went by, and my, what a temperatures we had. High temperatures in Europe and in the Netherlands, but also for England, a lot of high temperatures. It was the highest temperature here was 36 degrees 2 days ago. And that's really high. In Europe, it was even warmer. It was around the 43 degrees in the Netherlands, in gardens and in sheltered places. So it was really a tough time for elderly people, for young children, for and the only thing you can do is drink a lot of water and cool you down and go to the waters, go and swim, because it's too much to handle for your body. These are really tropical and high Sahara temperatures. So I would suggest go to the water, go swim, go in the shadow. It's getting too much for you. And the energies in that were really intense because people get annoyed by the fire and irritated by the fire. So if you don't drink enough water, your brain gets a short circuit. So you need to drink more water. People are firing up, irritations, frustrations are coming out, but also a lot of time and good times to play, to have a good time. You see, everybody's coming out of their houses and coming back on the streets. So it's a good time for the white lions. The lions came in 2 weeks ago to announce themselves for this time. The portal time of the Leo is open, so we are going into the stage of Leo. And the 8 portal will be a very important one for the future half year to come, for this year to come. So this portal will set the energies for upcoming months. Okay, well, let's see what's going on in the Divine Masculine's headspace. And in his headspace, it's going to, how do I get through the portals into the now? Letting go of the warrior, letting go of the strife, letting go of past issues. He wants to go into this safe space in in the space of rest, love, and peace for himself. I hope you can see it this way better. Let me check, yeah. So he's going into this space and he's looking for these portals to go through. Meditation, supplation, and really rest within himself, grounding himself, taking time for himself, but also in a space of forgiving himself. He needs to forgive himself for all the past things he did from the past out of hurt, because he was hurt himself, and because all of this hurt, he hurt his divine feminine in multiple ways. And he knows this. This comes to the surface, and it comes to the surface to clear out. And he wants to make amends with it. He wants to feel not the toxic guilt about it. The toxic guilt is really, really a deep thing in the divine masculine's inner core. It could be that all the things he did to prevent his divine feminine to reintegrate or reconnect with him was pure mind space and pure vision and vicious and pure manipulative behavior. And she forgave him all of that because she saw also the light in him. But it's also about he has to forgive himself for going into this space and releasing this in his inner in his shadow side. He wants to heal his shadow side. Yeah, and that's what when he heals the shadow side, he will find the love within himself again. And this inner shame, this toxic shame he's carrying around from his childhood wounds, and that could be from abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, not feeling safe, that will be a big issue to resolve. And if he will be up to it, that's all up to him. But that's also a point where the divine feminine has still consideration for him and still sees all these issues, but not interacting again. She's walking her own path, and she knows that she needs to leave him alone in that path, because if she would suggest A, he would do B, and he will get the shadow side will get all up again. And sometimes she triggers him to see how far his progression is. And when he gets triggered and she sees, the progression is not there, she will walk on again. She will leave and walk on again. Only someone who is used to the abuse of a shadow side will stay in a relationship like that. There's no woman that will stay in a relationship where she is abused and manipulated. And except if they had the same behavior and the same childhood issues where they don't work on, she will hang on because that's familiar for her. But the divine feminine overall works hard on her healing, and that makes it easier to set her boundaries and say, you really have to do something about it, otherwise, I'm not interacting, I'm not engaging with you. What's in the divine masculine's heart space? In his heart space, his kindness, sensitivity is his strength, higher perspective, and divine abilities. And that's what the divine feminine sees. She doesn't look at the shadow side anymore. She sees this good side of him. She don't want to focus on the bad side of the divine masculine. But his behavior hurts her, and his behavior holds her back. And that's why the divine feminine needs to move on. There are more ways to connect with your divine masculine than in the 3D realm. And she sees his kindness and his sensitivity, but that's also the weak spot of the divine masculine and his blind spot, because he only sees the goodness in himself. He doesn't want to look at the shadow side. So that's what's going on. So he sees only the good things. So the bad things won't be that horrible. But if he doesn't work on the shadow side, there is less chance that the heart opening space of love and kindness um, will be there to send it out into the universe, send it out into the world, because still the shadow side is there in the ego. And if the masculine gets triggered, he gets triggered in his shadow side and not in his heart space, because he can't open his heart space. For a lot of masculine, I don't say every masculine, a lot of masculines are in this space, that they're in this kind of fantasy illusional world, that they make themselves bigger and more important than they really are. But that's the ego, and the heart space. When you go to the heart space, it's really humble and really open and really kind and generous. And you see, in some occasions, you see them interweaving or interacting with each other. Yeah, and that's the same about the divine feminine. She is also working hard. She is not avoiding her dark side. She is working on this shadow side, and is being in this kindness and loving. And I see that the divine feminine is firm but fair, kind and fair in all occasions. So that's what's going on is in the divine masculine's heart space. How does he see his divine feminine as the angelic one? Divine healing is upon you, divine grace and divine guidance. That's what he sees. He sees that she is healing herself and working on herself, and doing the things that she needs to do for not only herself but the collective and the humanity. and she is working on her heart space, and he all sees it. He sees she grows so much in the last years, you know. He knows that she has a path to walk, and that path is sacred, and that's not, he's not able to keep up with her, to walk her path, so he lets her go to do her thing. But he's still wondering if there will be a time that they would come together and merge again, and that can only happen when the divine masculine is in the now, is in his heart space, and is raising his vibration. As long as he is in a toxic environment with the could be a third party, you know, the divine feminine is not interacting because she don't want to feel the aggression and the anger of the third party, because that's what she's sending to her, because she's feeling that even if she's not even talking about it to her divine, to her partner, to divine masculine, you know, the divine feminine picks up on this kind of energy, and she turns away. She's not going there. She's not going to that kind of state of manipulation, of uh, anger, or anything else. Um, yeah, and she sent her healing because she needs it more than anyone else. Um, what's in the divine feminine's headspace? She is thinking about the divine masculine, and how her new masculine, um, how she can accept her new divine masculine that will that she will create a new earth with. She will see him as the enlightened masculine, the masculine who has a potential to create this new world with her, to work with her, to be on the uh, same soul frequency, and that she can open her heart and trust to. It's a place of being safe, and she is looking for the masculine and the divine masculine that heals his inner child, that is connecting with his inner child and healing his inner child wounds. So if his inner child wounds are healed, there are less triggers, and so they will be harmony with themselves, and they can heal each other in a tremendous way, but not from a trigger point of view, but more from the point of view of pure heart opening love. You know, it's the inner flowing love that will come out, and the aiming of the heart will draw her divine masculine in. Doesn't mean he doesn't need to have an ego, because the ego makes the progression, you know, makes everything. Yeah, let's say that the ego, you need the ego to manifest, you need the ego to ground into this earth, but it must be a healthy ego, a healthy ego of supporting, a healthy ego of um, contributing to the divine feminine, and holding space for her in that kind of way. What's in the divine feminine's heart space? Let's see what's in her heart space. Cosmic heart source. source of all, true home, just be, and the heart connection. Well, that's also um, what is in her mind, um, how her future divine masculine shall be or will come into her life, or attracting or manifesting him in her life. She is manifesting this divine masculine in her life, um, with the source of all. And then she knows she's home, she's truly home, and she can just be in the heart and with him in this heart connection. So this energy will flow in and out from both their hearts, and they can both support each other, um, holding space for each other, and they know that there are each other's counterparts, but in an evolved stage, not from a stage of shadow and old hurt, but in a space of divine love, divine energy. And yes, she is trying to see if that connection with the source will be the same with her divine masculine. And she knows in her heart it is. She knows in her heart it is. That's it. Yeah, she knows in her heart it is on the same frequency. How does she sees the relation? Does she sees the divine masculine? He's authentic in his expression. His words are powerful, and he speaks the truth. Wow. And he is going in a flow, and he is going in joy, enjoying life, is not needy, is in a space of really grounded into the earth. Yeah, so she knows that, and she sees that he is aware, and that he is speaking his truth, not hiding, not coming from his shadow side. So that's how she sees the divine masculine, and that he can express himself more, or express himself, because there's no, what I feel in, if I tune in the divine masculine is very scared, scared to open their hearts for new relationships, because they're not sure of where they're stepping into, if it's the right source, if it's the right thing. And you don't have to think about it's the right thing. It's just the acceptance of a soul in a human being. If you accept their soul in the human being, and it's kind and loving, but also did its shadow work, then you only need acceptance. That's all. You don't. Of course, we all have shadow sides, but if you don't work on the shadow side will only grow and grow and grow and become stronger, and you get in a depression, or in a fearful and anxious state. And sometimes it's an anxious attachment state of feeling that the divine masculine gets into. So yeah, if they release that anxiety state, um, then it will be flowing. It will be flowing between both of them, and then they can accept each other. Um, because the divine masculine is really longing for acceptance. He's really longing for acceptance, and yeah, he is longing to be accepted as who he is. Um, and that they can be accepted when they come from truth, because the divine feminine picks up more lies than he's capable to tell, says spirit. This is fun. Oh my god, thank you. uh, yeah, the divine feminine is more aware of the lies than he can tell. Okay, before he tells lies, she knows already there's a lie coming up. So he makes a fool out of himself. And she is not reacting on it because she knows it's a lie. So he is telling himself the lies and the illusions and all these uh, fantasies that is, yeah, that he is believing in. Okay. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean that we're burning down the divine masculine. It's making them aware of their work. They need to do their work, and if they don't do the work, there is no union. And some divine masculines don't want a union. They want to experience all kinds of feminine energies and enjoy it. But that's not the divine masculine. That's the wounded masculine that needs admiration and needs um, attention. We all need attention, but we can also be on our own. Okay, what supports him? Your natural core, pure innocent, removing all falsehood and sheer. Wow, that's exactly the same card he had last month or last week. What will support him? Your natural core. Your kindness, sensitivity is your strength. The higher perspective of things and your divine abilities. Your innocence and yeah, and your romantic and your true soft heart feeling and being there for other people, and remove all falsehood and sheer. Yeah, that's exactly what will support him. That will support him. Okay. How does he see the relationship with his divine feminine? Depth of love. Let go of fear. Jump into love. Let go beyond all attachments. And the divine masculine is afraid of the attachment because of his childhood attachments to probably um, addiction behaviors, or abusive parents, or being abused himself, if it's mentally or sexually abuse, that will divide their spirit into two or multiple personalities. And you never know which one you're dealing with, but all of that can be healed, and because he has all these attachments, he was so afraid of creating a family, and he really loved his family, but that also triggered him a lot in splits. You saw the splits within the divine masculine. So, and that made him attached, made him needy, and then he wants to break free of that because he saw how much hurt it did, to his family, where he got born out of. And because of getting out of that marriage energy, out of that attachment energy, he destroyed everything. He destroyed, what could be love. That's what he did, and he wants to go back to this inner love and this depth of love that he never felt anywhere else before, because he can't attach anymore. So if he goes beyond all attachments of his childhood, but also of a relationship, and his divine partner would accept this, because they're both attached, they're both not needy. So then it could be that this real love can flower, and real depth of love can be reached, because they don't belong to each other. They belong to the greater good of all. They belong to the I am, and you can't you can't claim the I am, because that's the free spirit. The I am is all what someone is. You can't put a claim on that. And that's how he sees his divine feminine, as that's how he sees his relationship. That's how he wants the relationship to be, But he wants to let go of the fear and jump into this deep and depth of love, and go beyond the attachments. And that's all possible, because if they are the same kind of soul, they probably had to discuss this way before they started out together. And maybe the ones who are not in union yet, they will know that there is something else than beyond attachments. And that doesn't mean that they can play around, do that. No, if you want to experience that depth of love with someone, there needs to be a deep connection. And that connection can always only develop by interacting with each other. and growing with each other. Then you get this depth of love, but never with an attachment or a claim or whatever. Let's see what supports the divine feminine. The cosmic self. Here we go. You are a cosmic being. Stay confident in your truth. You are a cosmic being, and you can connect with everything. And that will support you. This will support you. The cosmic being will support you. The cosmic self will support you. Because you are beyond attachment. You are beyond limitations. You are, nobody can control you. Nobody can tell you what to do. If you check with your inner guidance, you will go and do for your what's good for your high self. Nobody can limit you, you don't have to accept what someone tells you. And of course you can tell someone what in an advice, but they don't have to accept it. Just like you don't have to accept the advice they give you. But if you tune in, you will feel if it's the truth, if it's genuine, if it's supportive, and then your higher self will decide if they are aligned with that advice. So you say, okay, there is a truth in this, and I recognize this, and I recognize that, and this is good advice. I will integrate this. I will learn from it, and I will step up the game. I really will step up my game. And there come people on your way, and that can be soul family or that can be karmics. If they're soul family, they come to reach you to a higher level of your cosmic being, of yourself, of your soul frequency. If you're meeting a karmic, they lower your frequency and they tell you what to do. They play in manipulation and they play on your guilt. So really leave that energy behind. Leave that energy behind. So you if you tap into that, you will know that that there are lies coming. You will know that it's not genuine. You will know, your cosmic self tells you this. But with the divine masculine and how she sees the relationship is that the person is free. He can make any decision he wants to do, and because he's a sovereign and a free person. She was never ever intended to hold him back. She was always supporting him, probably to go out with his friends, to do things on his own, to support him, to do fun things for himself. But he wasn't in that state of mind to do it. He wasn't able to do it because there were lower frequencies at stake that controlled him. And then you have to let go. Then you have to let go, and but you don't have to accept everything. That's what I feel. You don't have to accept everything. If it's in a negative state, or they're plotting against you, or things like that, you can react on it. And you can react fair and firm. And the fair and firmness is also about out. That's what you speak out of love. You don't do it in harshness. You do it in a loving kind of way. But that the statement is really made. Because if they want you, if the divine masculine wants you in his life, and without the attachment, then he has to learn to let you go again and again and again, so you can come back in your own time and in your own space. And that's what the divine feminine also does with the divine masculine. She invites him, she gives him a connection. If it's not accepted, it's also fine. There is no there's no limit on it. There is no, it's she's not bothered about it. Yeah, that's what I feel with a lot of divine feminine, that they have to really withdraw from lower toxic energies that's taking advantage of their energy, to go somewhere else and spread the energy there. And she knows that when she's out of that energy, it's hard for them to maintain their own frequency. So a lot of divine masculine get frustrated again because the loving energy is not there. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Thank you, Spirit. How she sees the divine masculine, how she sees the relationship, rising of the truth, a center power, a gentle power, and true strength. Wow. Yes, there we go. That's exactly everything. She sees that he is rising in his truth, and he's using his gentle power and his true strength, because his manipulation and all the tactics he worked with, is not working anymore. So he has to become his true essence with you. And if he doesn't do this, he knows that the divine feminine will go and really put a line on it and say, these are my boundaries. And he's hurting himself with that. Because when he hurts his divine feminine, he's hurting himself more, because she's a part of him and she is this divine love. So he will feel the divine hurt if he is projecting to her. He will feel it in his own core, and that's not how he wants to feel. So he is rising of his truth, the rise of truth, his gentle power. Oh wow, and here's the cup of love, He is filling his own cup first. He gives it to someone else. And that's what the divine masculine, I told you a few readings before, that the divine masculine and the divine feminine, they first have to fill their cup before they give away their energy. And it's like you can give what's overflowing, but if your cup is full and it's not overflowing, you think about yourself first. You think about raising your energy, and fill up your cup before you can give it to someone else. And that means take your rest, meditate, go to the light, go into nature. And do the things with high vibrational people. People who you connect with through the heart. Okay. What's the challenge of the divine masculine? The way of the pearls. And that's liminal space, new energies, trust, and time of growth. That's his challenge. That he has to take his own space, so new energies can come through, and that he has to trust himself in his truth, and that it's time to grow. And that's the only time you can grow, because you need time and space for yourself to grow. You can't grow if you're not having enough space for yourself, and you're always surrounded by people. If you're always surrounded by negative people, if you're always surrounded by people who pretend to be better than they are, then don't you give yourself space to grow, because that is the energy you're around and surrounded with. And in this energy of surrounded with those people, you will stay in that energy, and some, if you're very sensitive, you will take on that energy. So you will be yes, thank you, Spirit. You will be who you hang around with. You will be who you hang around with. And that's a concern for you to see where your energy is. Because if you're hanging around with people who are pretending and are not the real version of themselves, and having passive-aggressive energy, you will become passive-aggressive towards other people. And there is no time to grow here. That's no growth. That's just hanging on to something, to anxiety attachments. Okay. So give your time space to be alone. Let yourself float in the water, and receive everything you need to receive from the ocean of stillness. What he's going to do about him. Meditate on who I am. The veil is lifting, I'm opening, and I am starting to know myself. I know my ego, but now I have to learn to know myself, and that's what he's going to do about it. And sometimes in meditation, it's enlightened. You get so much love from the universe that it can overwhelm you. It can overwhelm your heart. It can overwhelm your system. But if you don't meditate, you will never know yourself. And that's something. Then you will know your ego, but you never will know your inner truth self of who you really are. And he is going to work on that. So that's really nice to see. It's really nice to see. Really nice to see. Spirit said we have to applaud them. We have to applaud them, because they earn that energy. because it's their birthright and we have to honor them for that. So by this way, for the Divine Masculine, we honor you. For the Divine Feminine, it was last week, I think, her supporting card, and now it's her challenge. Peacemaker through inner peace, resolving ancient splits of the power of the Leo and the softness of the Lamb. So she needs to get back in balance with that, and I think it has to restore. She has to see it also from another view, that you can be a lamb with a lot of courage, but you also can be a lion with a big heart. And everything you say you can do from a soft and kindness space. But now in the time of Leo can be fierce. Leo can be very, very fierce and very direct. She won't, the lion won't take any any BS. She won't take any BS. So, yeah. So this is then the time for in the fire energy of Leo to keep her head cool. To keep her head cool, and that probably will be a challenge for her. What is she going to do about it? Guidance. She gets support from her inner guidance, and she trusts her guidance. So if she needs to be fierce, she will be fierce because her guidance tells her so. If she is soft, she will be soft because her guidance shows her that way. So she's feeling into this really amazing space of inner knowing, and her heart space, and the space of I am. What is fair and what is not fair. You know, she's balancing everything out. And it can also be, you know, that you have to leave people behind that not synchronizing with you anymore, or that feed off of your energy. You have to let them go if they feed off your energy, if they take you for granted, or they don't respect your kindness for who you are and taking advantage of it. Then you have to move on, and your guides will tell you. Your guides will tell you. And she will listen to her guides, what's the best thing to do for her. So, what will combine them? The Rainbow Child. And they're both unstoppable. They're new earth builders, multi-talented, and miraculously alchemy. They have both incredible manifestation. They can manifest everything they want. You can't stop them, because if there's something that's guided through by the universe, what they need to do, they need to do it. And there's nobody on this 3D realm who can stop them, you know. But they also need time and space to rejuvenate and to take their rest again. So they're building a new earth. They're building a new humanity. They're building rainbow children. They're building more consciousness. They're building more kindness and love in this world to anchor. Yeah. And there is the alchemy they create is really miraculous. It's beyond words. It's beyond time and space, and they both know that they match very well together, and that will combine them. That will, that's the same energies they carry, manifesting, creating, working already with the energies, and they supporting each other, holding space for each other, giving advice of higher from the higher self. So yeah, it's really, really, it could be a really intense manifestation power they have together. If it's in the house, if it's on work related, if it's with people, there are a powerful team. Yeah, they're the rainbow children. They are the rainbow gathering. They are the rainbow energies that will build and rebuild and co-create with the universe. Thank you. That's so beautiful. What brings them together? Will teaching, depth of experience and healing, teacher and mentor, and they shared wisdom. Well, I just channeled this one. The depth of their experience, what they experience is probably the same. They probably carry the same wounds, carry the same hurt, and they, by being together, they will heal that. And healing is necessary for all the wounds. They're both teachers and mentors for people who want to learn and want to share and receive their visions. They also share the same visions. They share the same energy. They share probably the same values. And that's something you can build on. If you have the same values, then you can create relationships, then you can create harmony. But if there are, if they don't have the same values, then it won't work. But I see and I hear from Spirit that is what they bring together. That brings the masculine and the feminine together if they share the same values and their truth and their honesty. It could be they're diving, they're diving deep, but rising higher. That's, oh, thank you. That's so beautiful, Spirit. That's so beautiful. Thank you. They're diving deep, but rising higher. Like the whale in this picture, they're diving deep, but they're rising higher. And they sparkle, and they're leaving all their sparkles behind for other people to catch. So they will give unconditionally to the people, to the divine, to everything, to create this new world. Well, my beloveds, this was a beautiful reading for this week. I want to share another card of the light, Masters of the Light, Keepers of the Light. One for the Divine Masculine. And one for the Divine Feminine. Well, also this month, July and August, there are, I have lower my rates for the readings for July and August. So a reading is now £88 till September. So if you want to make a deal in these two weeks, you will receive a reading and a healing, depending on how long you want the healing and the reading for. The reading is an hour, that's 88, and for an hour and a half it's 133. Normally is a healing and a reading together for an hour and a half, 177, and now it's 133. If you want only a reading, it's from 111 for 88 now. So if you really want to have your personal reading and guidance on your personal energy with your twin flame, send me a message and I will give you a very extended and guided reading. For the Divine Masculine, we have Kutsumi, and that's Cloak of Wisdom. You already know the answer that you seek. Trust what you know and take action. Wow. And for the Divine Feminine, Holy Spirit, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Wow. I will thank you for watching my video and videos. I'm very, very grateful for all my subscribers. And I'm really looking forward to the next week. For the next week energies also. I feel already into it, but I keep and I stay with the energies of this week reading for this week up till next week. There is also a retreat coming up from the 20th till the 23rd of August, and there's only one place available. There could be more places available, 2 more spaces, but that's without residential. So if you want to come to Glastonbury and beyond and feel the power places, releasing your karma, feeling where you're coming from, then really I invite you to come over. I have only 1 space left for residents, and yeah, if you want more information, go to the subscription box below, send me an email and I will hear from you. I will thank you and I love you, and bye bye. Blessings.